Hi everyone, this is Tina with Dirt Therapy Gardens, and in today's video we are back in the same location that we were last year on the concrete patio. It has become another collection for leftover pots, toys, seedlings that didn't make it. I really need to get this cleaned up. Now, mind you, we are in a heat advisory the next couple days. Temperatures are going to be in the high 90s, but the field temp is going to be a lot worse. We are very muggy here. If you haven't heard that Nebraska is considered a corn sweat state, that just means that the corn in the fields gives off a lot of moisture, and in those areas you are sweating. So that is what is going on right now here in the middle of August, but we really need to get some of these projects done. I have to say it gets a little embarrassing to show you all of my areas, but with everything that's been going on this summer with some medical issues, my daughter's medical issues, and the new baby, we haven't really been able to focus too much on cleaning projects. It's just been really in survival mode, keeping things watered, keeping plants happy. So I haven't really been able to get to the cleaning itself projects. And you can see our patio that I redid last year, repainted the tables, are now showing some signs of some struggles here. So I've really got to get in here and get things cleaned up. What normally happens with me is I plant a bunch of flowers and then I have pots, and I keep all the pots because I do annual plant sales. I sell my plants all year round, so I always need containers to be able to use. I also like to start seeds in some of these pots so they're already started, and or transplant them from a seed starting kit. But I also need those for that as well. So yeah, there's always things that are going on with the garden that I just can't get to. I also am looking to, you see this empty container over here. I just bought this new raised bed, trying to figure out where it's gonna go in this section, and then I'm gonna plant it up with some crops for cool, such as lettuce and spinach and those things that I can really use. So that is also going to be incorporated in this disastrous area for right now. We also had a storm come through last year that made us get our roof replaced, but with the insurance company, sadly enough, they didn't cover everything. They said that they covered the umbrellas and some other items. However, once the roof came through, the bid for the roof, all the money had to go for the roof and nothing else was able to get fixed. So they have seen better days. They have holes in them and rips from the storm that we had that came through last year. So I did pick up a couple more, and I'm going to be replacing them as well. So really it's just going to be cleanup. I need to clean up the cowboy area. I need to clean up all of the miscellaneous stuff, get things thrown away that I no longer need, remove the Jeep and put it in a better location. And I think just that alone is really going to open up this area and make it look so much better. got these new umbrellas at the at-home store. Unfortunately, our local store is closing. Now we have two locations, one is closing and one is not, but the second location that is staying open is really far away from my house, and I don't see myself going to that one. The other one was so much closer, but very disappointing, very sad. But I did get these on a deal, so I'm going to be replacing them because these ones were in last year's storm when we had the huge storm that we had to replace our roof from. There was some damage, tree damage, and if you look on some of the previous videos from last year, you'll see where we lost a big portion of our ash tree out front. We've also had a lot of tree limbs down from our neighbor's tree that kind of canopies over our yard. So that was a lot of damage there. And of course our roof, gutters, some screens, and the umbrellas took some pretty hard hits on our property. So it's been a long time coming. I was just making these last as long as possible, but they are ripped up now, and so I'd like to get some new ones up. I also like to test them out because today is a little bit of a breezy day, and so I want to see how they hold up to breezes that come through, because that really kind of determines how often I will have these rolled up or rolled down. So I'm going to be just keeping an eye on them today to see how well they handle everything. thing I've noticed about these ones is they don't click like those other ones did. It's more of a twist system. So I'm going to try to keep these, but I'll repurpose them. Like I might need like a garden stake or something that has, you know, that I can stake in and use for plant supports. So I do try to keep whatever I can. So I'm not throwing everything away. But the other one will not give, so I'm only going to be able to do just one. Okay, so it looks so much better. You know, like I said earlier, this had just become a potting area for me to put for plant sales and propagation and everything. And eventually when the greenhouse is completed, that will eliminate me having to use this area as a potting area. I'd like to do something a little bit different with it, maybe have some comfy furniture here. I would love it if we could put a pergola over this. But you know, of course, that is for future. And the cowboy area. Now you can see I didn't get it all done. I skipped over it. Some of those totes and stuff are really heavy and covered in spiders. And I am super fearful of spiders and webs. I just don't like having any type of web on me, on my body. So I am going to hold off until I have some recruitment, my husband helping me with this rest of this area. But eventually I would like this whole area to be gone. All of the rock, all of the border, the cowboy and the horse stay, but move out while we concrete this whole area and make it more of a patio with our existing concrete. That way we have a path to go around the air unit, because that was pretty much the best location for us to install it. And it doesn't allow too much of a walkway over on that other side, like the original walkways were. So eventually we're going to get rid of it. But everything is looking so much better. I got it cleaned up. At least it is usable now. And that is going to make it so much more pleasant to walk out the back door and see a clean space. So thank you everybody, and we will see you next time. Have a great garden day.